Welcome back to another episode of Take Her to Church. Happy Sunday. I'm your host, Leanna.
And I'm Robin, and we are so excited. We have our very first guest.
With 7 years in the real estate industry, ranked in the top 35, under 35 in all of Canada.
Listed among the top 20 real estate agents on social media. Host of the Price to Sell podcast and founder of the Residency Group.
Please welcome Matt Campoli, who is also a proud cat dad.
Big time. Hi.
Yeah.
Hello.
Which it's so funny when we asked before, like I guess yesterday when we were asking for a little bit of a bio on you.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end it was like a proud cat dad. We were like, perfect, because June was actually supposed to be like our Father's Day series. We were going to interview fathers who were like entrepreneurs. So it kind of works out that you're our first guest and you're a father of something. Yeah.
He's my son.
Yeah. Do you celebrate the holiday?
I do with my son.
Yeah.
Yes. It was actually his birthday on June 1st.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I gave him a treat.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's nice. Did you like light a candle?
No, just one treat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Strict diet.
Yes.
That's amazing.
He's fit.
Yeah. Good.
Not by choice.
Yeah.
By my choice.
I get that. That's how I feel about my dog. So, okay. Well, do you want to start off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Sure.
And how you got started. Sorry.
Yeah, Matthew Campoli, born here, Canada, Vaughan, actually. I'm a full-time real estate agent, run a little team, been doing it for almost 8 years now. I love what I do. I host a podcast that started off as a really niche down real estate podcast for the industry. Now it's kind of branching off to like more business stuff. It's been a ride, career changing for me too. And prior to real estate, I was a barber. Studied history in university.
Very cool.
And I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life at that point. So it's kind of just like everything kind of just like fell into place.
Did you enjoy being a barber?
Loved it. It was a hobby.
Do you still do it?
No, I can't. I did for a little bit while I started real estate, just to like, I was just planting seeds in all my clients' heads.
Right.
While cutting their head.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to buy a house? You're going to buy a house? You're going to buy a house?
Amazing.
And we were 24, 25 at the time. So I was like, okay, everyone's about to buy homes. Let me just get my real estate license and like beat the rush and try and be that guy for them when they're ready. So that was kind of like my angle.
Okay.
You still cut your own hair?
No, I never actually cut my hair. I enjoy the process of getting my hair cut. I enjoy being pampered.
Yeah, of
sitting in the chair, getting my head touched.
Yeah.
Were you one of those people during like COVID times who had like a little barber shop set up that
was
your
I
friends...
cutting during that time? No, I was full blown real estate by that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't transition back for a few months when things were slow?
No.
No.
I just ripped social media during that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's when my social media thing really took off. Was COVID.
Yeah. Because I feel like you probably had a lot of time to just
I had
focus
time to think.
in and like.
I actually had time to like. I was like, okay. I remember going to the park with my high school buddies, which I haven't done since high school.
Yeah.
And we were like
the things we did during COVID that we were nostalgic.
we technically don't have jobs right now. Like we did, but like no one was working.
Yeah.
And I wasn't worried because like my competitors also can't work right now and they can't sell. So I feel great.
Yeah.
So let me just be a kid again for a bit. So I went to the park. You know?
Yeah.
And then I just took full advantage of like those. We had like 2 weeks of real estate where it's like buyers don't want to go see homes. Sellers don't want to get people to come in their houses. So it's like there was a big lull and like a stalemate. That 2 weeks was amazing. I was like, I kind of like rethought my whole life out because I had the time.
Yeah.
And I wasn't so like in the mix.
Yeah.
And
that's us right now.
Yeah. So it was a beautiful 2 weeks. I took full advantage of it.
Yeah.
I didn't like waste it or watch TV or like I was just like in my room like I don't want my life to look.
That's
you
cool.
know, let me educate a little bit. Who is Matt?
Yeah.
Some like self-discovery stuff. Yeah.
You took the time to be productive, which
yes.
Yeah. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Did you
well, that's
like
me in a nutshell. Yeah.
ever get in your head during that time like I can't do this or like I should just stay home or like Like you just kept like going
I
or
was like
building.
the opposite.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I was at the parks working out. Like I was like always like I just wanted to be outside and like take care of my health more than ever. I was only like sketched out in the first couple maybe weeks, like those videos from China, people like
yeah.
injuring and stuff. It had nothing to do with the COVID. I thought like, oh my god, this is like a real life like movie happening.
Yeah. So I guess outside of that time period, because
Yes.
I feel people actually kind of hate hearing about it and talking
Yeah.
about it, even though that's very positive how
Mhm.
you spent yours. Now, do you feel like you get in like your head about things, or like if you're kind of stuck in like a position of being stuck, do you kind of go back to times like that to get out of it, or how do you?
Yeah, I'm always in my head.
Okay.
Yeah,
fair.
I think it's
Fair
normal,
enough.
especially for entrepreneurs, like
Mm-hmm.
trying to build something. A lot of stresses,
Yeah.
wanting instant results, instant gratification, things like
Yeah.
that. So it's easy to get overwhelmed, discouraged when things aren't working. In my job, it's very up and down.
Mm-hmm.
There's up days and there's really down days, you know?
Right.
So, the whole world can be exploding today and tomorrow it could be all sunshine and rainbows for me. Like, so I try and just stay level with myself, and I know how to like come back to myself, like,
Okay.
and not over stress,
Yeah.
right? And like I've learned non-attachment,
Mm-hmm.
like not get too attached to the outcomes, results. Something's not working for me. Like I just lost, didn't lose, but like I almost had the biggest deal of my career
Right.
last week. Everything was going smoothly, and then my clients just decided to change their mind, which is fine. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe an older version of me might have been like really kicking myself
Right.
with that because it was big,
Mm-hmm.
but there's no point.
Bigger
Like,
ones
well,
will come.
Kind of move on, right?
Yeah.
Move on. I learned some stuff through the process. Take it, and we move on. So
C'est la vie mentality.
exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
What got you to where you are at today?
With my life as a whole, my job.
Just I guess like everything is like a whole, your job, like your podcast, like how to all kind of.
Yeah.
I know you're talking about it a bit before, but
It's pretty cool journey. I mean, like growing up, I think I only knew what I knew. So we're lucky we're exposed to so many different things now. We can,
Mhm.
so many different resources we can tap into. But growing up, I was just kind of given here's the professions you could be, like lawyer, doctor, accountant,
right.
engineer, teacher,
Yeah.
And I almost didn't get into York University. And so it was like a whole period of like, I don't know what the hell I want to do. Family's trying to convince me to like, why don't you do this? Get into the trades. And there was a period where I was like, I don't want to get into the trades. I had no idea what I wanted to do. So how everything kind of like unfolded was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because if like during university, if someone would have said, hey, Matt, you're going to be a real estate agent, I would have been like, what the hell is that? Number one.
Yeah.
And no chance.
Yeah.
Right. So I was just doing what I liked at the time, going with the flow. I took 1 year off university. I worked landscaping.
Okay.
I got my ass beat.
Yeah.
I had
That's tough.
like my boss was that guy who would just tell me off daily on a day-to-day basis. I was making like minimum wage, getting yelled at all day, working my ass off, and it wasn't like cutting grass landscaping. It was hardscapes. Like we were installing pools.
Right.
So a lot of like interlocking, gravel, wheelbarrows, a lot of like
Manual
hard
labor.
ass manual labor. And then we did snow removal in the winter, which is absolutely disgusting, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big wake up call for me. That's when I started reading books and self-developing.
Okay.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started my mind started to like expand beyond like doctor, lawyer, accountant. Like you have to be these things. And then at the same time, the barbering opportunity fell in my lap too, because I say this all the time, they hate it, but my friends were cheap
Mm-hmm.
and didn't want to go pay a barber. And my mom taught hairdressing and hair and aesthetics at high school. So she had the equipment. She had the clippers, she had scissors, she had combs, all that stuff.
Right.
So my buddy Gabe's like, Matt, shave my head. And I was always into hair.
Yeah.
I used to have like crazy haircuts in high school.
Like mohawks. and,
Mohawks,
like, okay.
colored.
Amazing.
Oh,
I did have
wow.
bangs at one time, like punk
Justin
rock days.
Bieber, who did
We'll
it.
need to see some
I had
pictures
a
so we
tail,
can
like-
like add those in here.
I do have throwbacks.
Yeah.
They're pretty gross, but I have them. So I shaved his head, had fun with it, and then my other buddy Luca hit me up. He's like, I want like give me a mohawk.
Mhm.
No idea. We winged it, turned out okay, and then I started to learn like fading. I started to just play with my friends
Right.
Then
That's
we
nice
started.
that they trusted you to do that.
Well, they didn't want to go pay, so
Yeah,
no,
I
I'm kidding.
guess.
They
Beggars can't be choosers.
love you, boys. Thank you. You guys, it's because of you.
Yeah.
We started to hit the clubs at that time, 19-ish.
Mhm.
Started to go out, and then everyone's like, "Where'd you get your fades?" Like Matt did it.
Right.
They were
Right?
asking at
Yeah.
the club.
People are asking, "Where'd you get the fades?" Like Matt cut the hair, so I was like, how much you charge? I'm like, nothing, $5. Like,
Yeah.
no, like
Yeah.
I'll set something up in my garage. So I started charging $5, promoting it on Facebook, and then it just blew up from there. And that's what woke up the entrepreneur in me, though, because I'm like, oh, here I am with my own business. I'm not working for anybody.
Yeah.
I made a pact to never be yelled at again because of the landscaping gig.
Mhm.
Totally.
So I'm like, I just want to work for myself. So that was it. The barbering kind of like opened up a whole new horizon
world.
for me, and then it just kind of snowballed from there, and then into real estate.
Okay,
Amazing.
very
Yeah.
cool.
Can you speak more to like the concept of like being your own boss or like what that means for you? Because it sounds like you had a really negative boss and maybe that inspired you to
Yeah,
work for yourself or like be your own.
I mean, like, there's a couple things. Like, yes, being ripped apart every single day. Like,
Takes a toll.
yeah, like that was insane. Then I got a part-time job at Best Buy. I was selling TVs, and it was just funny because, again, like my mind started to open, so I started to really like question things. So to be sat down for your monthly review at Best Buy, like, okay, here are your targets, Map. You didn't hit this. And I'm like, dude, I get paid minimum wage. I have no
Yeah.
incentives. There's no commission here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell do I got to meet your quota for? Really? I just come here, I do my hours, and I'm out. Like that's
Yeah.
sorry, but that's a culture you've created here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if we were incentivized a little bit more, I'd be a little bit more in it.
Mhm.
But I just saw like the system was like so broken. You know,
Mhm.
I'm like, do I want to be under the control of that or take control for myself? And the barbering, as it was blowing up, I was like, okay, people like me. They're coming to me. They're trusting me. This business is growing. I'm doing this by myself. No one's helping me. I can hold it down on my own. So, and I love this. So that was it. I'm like, I don't know what's next, but I just don't want to ever be an employee.
Right.
And then that was it.
It's pretty
Amazing.
cool.
Yeah.
And was there anybody during that process that kind of like inspired you? Like obviously the work side of stuff has like its own inspirational value, but like was there anybody who really like, aside from your friends who let you cut hair for them, that was really like behind you, just kind of like pushing you to like do the next thing or like
Yeah. Like at that time, a lot of my hair clients,
yeah.
yeah.
I
They were all into different things, right? And I had different
Yeah.
age groups. You can imagine I had some pretty successful dudes, like fathers, in my chair.
Yeah.
And my one of my good friends, late father, Frank, he just lived the life. And I was like, I want to be like this guy, you know?
Yeah.
He just
Yeah.
he worked insurance, like he just having a lot of fun
Yeah.
in his life, you know? And a lot of my hair clients introduced me to so many different things like spirituality, podcasts.
Mhm.
I didn't know podcasts until like 2016
Right.
that they existed. And my one buddy Joe was like, you got to listen to this one. And I listened to that podcast, and it was all about the like law of attraction. I'm like, what's this law of attraction thing now? So I think it was a combination. Like, it wasn't one person. It was just a combination of me witnessing a lot of these different figures coming into my chair, and me just being curious, and just picking like little things that I liked from each of them, and kind
Yeah.
of creating my own soup with it.
It's
It's
amazing.
interesting
know,
how
and diving
hairdressing
in.
can do that. Or like
I-
being a barber. I
you know
mean,
what?
I open up so much to a hairdresser that I'm like,
Right?
I leave. I'm like, okay, I don't know if you wanted to know all that
Yeah.
information, but I'm so close with her. Like she's
Well, that's what you become. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I was like everyone's like. I mean, I'm only counting men, but I was
Yeah.
their boy. Like I had like a private space where it was only me and them. I wasn't
Mhm.
like a big shop where a bunch of stuff going on. So you can imagine the private conversations
yeah,
because they felt very comfortable to confide in me because it was just us.
yeah.
And it was like half an hour to an hour of
And
time
hair's
with
a
them.
personal thing, so
It is, and they
it's-
trusted me with their head.
Yeah,
So they're gonna trust me with their life too. And I know a lot of things.
yeah. That's
Yep.
really cool.
Yeah, I feel like there's almost like a parallel between that and podcasting because now you're like interviewing people.
It's true. And a lot of my clients did joke about it when we were doing it. They're like, you should record these conversations, you know? But at the time, like,
And then you did.
Yeah.
that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
When did you start your podcast?
2021.
Okay.
And it wasn't actually, so there was two podcasts. I started my first one with my my good friend Zoe. We were in Tulum in 2019, and we're just like had a little buzz. We were in a pool, and we're like, at the time we were starting to succeed in life, and a lot of people started to ask us questions.
Mm-hmm.
And we said, there's a gap of knowledge in Toronto. Why don't we create a podcast where we can bring on like local entrepreneurs to tell their story? Because Instagram's a highlight reel. Why don't we bring some people on to like, let's hear about their failures and shit. Let's dive deep and like see what they had to overcome to get to where they are and inspire like the local people of Toronto. So we started, it's called It's Simple Podcast, like to show people it's actually pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
Once you understand, you know, and you try things for yourself, and it was fun, and we had a blast. Our first pod we did was February 5th, my birthday, 2020, right before COVID.
Oh,
So
wow.
during
Okay.
COVID, we were just pumping episodes, and then in 2021,
Which is kind of cool. A good like time to have
it was
got
everyone was
into-
watching, yeah.
Yeah.
It was popular. It was
Yeah.
popular, and we ran that until like 2022, I would say. Then Zoe, super successful. He's crazy busy with his business. I got really busy too, so I just stuck with Price to Sell at that point. Price to Sell wasn't my idea. It was actually my partners on it, Ernesto and Anthony. It was their idea, and they called me. Ernesto called me, and he's like, "We're starting a real estate podcast. You're the host." I was like, "No chance. I'm way too busy." And then he forced me, and it was the best thing he ever did for
Oh
me.
wow.
So yeah, it was their baby.
Shout out to him.
I'm the face,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's our baby together, and it's been a really fun business to develop. A lot of different things we've been working on and have been launching with the brand, and now
Yeah.
it's more so just a brand.
Yeah.
The podcast is a part of it.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Who would you say has been like your most inspirational guest that you've had on, or like even your favorite guest that you've had on to date?
Probably Ryan Serhant.
Okay.
So he's a star from the $1 Million Listing in New York.
Mm-hmm.
The guy with the gray hair. You ever
Okay.
watch that?
Yeah. Yeah, a bit, but
Okay,
yeah.
so he's like my idol
Okay.
in the real estate space. Like I always looked up to him, read all his books, and I kind of modeled my business like him. So a lot of people call me
Mm-hmm.
and they just tell me this. They're like, "You're the Ryan Serhant of Toronto," you know? I'm like, "Yeah, it makes sense."
Yeah.
Really trying to be like him, you know?
Stay humble always.
Yeah. But yeah, he was cool. I got an opportunity to go see him in New York and film it in New York, and it was like such a crazy experience to have like a free hour of that guy's time
Wow.
Yeah.
in his office to just pick his brain, like my guy, you know, like, and just be there
Had
Yeah.
like
you-
this
Yeah, like idolized him forever.
since the
basically?
beginning.
Yeah.
He was always the guy. I'm like, I want to be like him since I started.
That's
And
amazing.
Wow.
He-
Yeah.
right guy to pick because he's like
Round of
probably one of the
applause.
Yeah.
top guys in the world right now. Like he's just changing the game.
Mm-hmm.
Super smart. So to, like have access to his brain for an hour
Yeah.
was wild.
I know, well, from what was kind of said, you're into like manifestation and different things like that. Do you think that's something you manifested?
1000%.
Yeah.
Everyone can agree with that who listens to the podcast because I always would say it in the
Mhm.
mic in the episode. I just squeeze it in there. Say, by the way, Ryan Serhant coming for you.
Yeah. That's us
Ryan.
for Dom Dalla. We
Okay.
are like, one day we will have him on here.
Dom, bring your dollar.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, so how it happened was it became like a known thing. Like Matt really wants Ryan Serhant as a guest. And then a super unbelievable dude, Justin Condacao, he was one of my guests, another realtor who is within Ryan's network. And then he just texted me one day. I was on the couch. He's like, "Matt, have you had Ryan on yet?" I'm like, "Ryan who?" He's like, "Ryan Serhant." I'm like, "Obviously not."
Mhm.
He's like, "Okay, give me an hour." I'm like, "What? Call me. Why are you texting me? What is
Yeah.
this?" Then
Mhm.
he's like, "He's in." I'm like, "Call me. Like, what's going on here?"
Yeah.
And then I just get put in this email thread, and then within 2 weeks, I was in New York, and Ryan gave me his time. So Justin really blessed me. But yeah, I think that's definitely a part of the whole, law of attraction
Yeah.
thing, and you put it out there, and you'll get it kind of vibes. So
That's amazing.
a lot of unexplainable things for sure
Yeah.
that just happen.
Okay, well, now we know.
Yeah.
We'll just keep saying it, plugging
Just
it
keep
every
saying it.
episode. Yeah. Exactly. Okay, so what are some new projects that you're working on? I know you've kind of vocalized some in like your socials and that, but yeah, do you want to tell us about some new projects and different things that you're currently working on aside from hustle in the real estate industry?
I mean, my baby is definitely my team right now. So you
Hmm.
guys have been speaking to Jesse. Um, he he's our assistant. I have another agent, Chris, and we're just looking to blow that up. Like I'm like uber obsessed with creating a really cool business in
Hmm.
real estate game. Um, a lot of big plans in the future that I'm keeping to myself right now and just manifesting with myself right now. But
Okay.
I'm thinking huge for that
Yeah.
stuff. So that's exciting for me.
Okay,
And
good.
then I have uh, my main focuses would be that I'm all in on obviously the price to sell brand with that. We're just trying to create like a really cool business slash real estate media brand
Hmm.
that encompasses a bunch of different things. We have our podcast, we have our house tours on YouTube, which are crushing it. So I get access to go see really cool properties all around the world. I was just at Ryan O'Reilly's house yesterday,
Okay,
the
I think I saw that.
ex Maple Leaf, yeah,
Yeah.
and
He has like golf courses on his
yeah,
property
he's got
or
golf greens on the property. So I'm
that's
getting
insane.
access to touring like some crazy ass properties. I've
Yeah.
done multiple different countries already, and excited where that's gonna go because
Yeah.
that's just like super cool. So that whole brand there is just like a lot of doors have been opening, which is cool. And then we just started the Wealth Club. It's a community
Okay.
online community.
Yeah.
So we took because I have a close group of friends who
Hmm.
are I'm also in business with,
Okay.
and we're all on the same page. I think that's why we're so close because we all
Yeah.
have the same goal in life
Same
and vision,
mentality.
and we just want to get there together.
Yeah.
So what the Wealth Club has been is just we've taken experts in different spaces that are very relevant in today's world. I run the real estate side, business entrepreneurship. We have Nick Regina and his partner Ernesto Anthony are running like marketing, networking. We have fitness, we have cryptocurrency, we have sports betting, we have health and wellness, spirituality. We have our my life coach Zark. He's running that. So
Okay.
through this community, you get access
Hmm.
to so many cool people. And I was actually on it yesterday till like 1 a.m. just being it's actually a beautiful thing to see the engagement of all these people. Like people are literally posting help. Like they need help.
Yeah.
I need help with this. I don't know how to scale. I'm stuck. My business is stuck. I need help hiring someone. I don't know what to buy clients for gifts. I need help with this. And the amount of support, not even from like us as the ambassadors, but just the people who have joined the community who are
Yeah.
just sharing their knowledge, how they run their business. It's a really cool thing what it's kind of flourishing into right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Like a full service agency, but for your life, not
It's
just like for your
yeah,
brand.
it's a really like close knit group like community
So is it kind of, yeah, like a community, but
on
then
school.
you have the teachers, but then obviously the students can like talk with each other?
Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
like kind of chat
Yeah,
room?
exactly.
Okay.
So everyone can
Okay.
talk and amongst each other.
Hmm.
And if they want to ask us something directly, they have access to us.
Okay, that's
So
really cool. Wow, good for you guys.
yeah, it's been fun.
You
What's
are who
it?
you surround yourself with.
Literally.
Yeah. What's it like though, like working with your friends? Like, is it like all fun and games?
It's
Is
a
there ever
dream.
tense moments
No,
where you
it's like
disagree?
we're like I mean, yeah, like it's a business at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But I think the key is that we've all done our own self development
Hmm.
where we understand how to navigate things properly. So I feel like there's different mentalities out there. Um, as an example, like I personally couldn't be in business with victims. You know, people who have like that victim mentality is like
Yeah.
they can't always have to point the finger, but never at themselves. You know,
Right.
very hard headed, stubborn. That type of person, I just personally wouldn't be able to be in business with. You know, these guys here understand all that stuff. They've kind of ironed out their kinks already. So I'm in business with people who I can openly have conversations with without offending anyone. And, you know, if someone like Matt, you're shitting the bed here,
Yeah.
I won't be like, F you. Why'd you say
Yeah.
that? I'd be like, you're completely right. Okay, tell me more. Like, I want to see where my blind spots are. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's a cool thing. It's a really cool
Yeah.
thing how like what's been created with us.
I think that's like really important. I mean, we've had episodes on kind of working with friends and the pros and cons. And that's something we've kind of said for each other is when we got into this and wanting to work together, it was very much like we need to have those kind of hard discussions to actually be like, oh, we could do better here, but also use it as a creative platform to be like, I might not always agree with your idea, but also like it's your idea and like it is your knowledge. So let's give it a try. And like if it fails, it fails. But also if it's quite obvious that like, well, I have knowledge in this, like let me help you and not
Sure.
take it personally as like I'm insulting you on your work.
Yeah.
Because I think we've both worked with friends in the past where it's like, the feedback we were receiving from them was not, it wasn't in like a good sense, kind of. It was
Yeah.
actually like, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know this, when it would be in like social media or something where it's like, well, I mean, that's
Because they're the experts, they have experience.
yeah.
Well, that's
Or
ego.
like creativity too. Just like, I don't like how this looks. And it's like, okay, well, that's your opinion. I think for us, we kind of have that open
Yeah.
side of, okay, we're not
It's
always
a team.
necessarily going to love something, but give it a shot. And
Yeah.
I think it's like what you're saying. It's nice to be surrounded by people who, yeah, will give you like the hard truth, but at the same time, like will support you to
Yeah.
give it a chance.
Well, it's all for the larger growth of that individual too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the key is not to take anything personally.
Yeah.
Like, that's one thing, a rule in life like I live by. Don't assume
Mm-hmm.
and don't take anything personally.
So you know what assuming does.
Yes.
My grade 8 math teacher taught me that.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. He wrote it on the board in front of the class.
What was it?
So if you take the word assume
Yeah.
and you like circle ass,
hmm
it makes one out of you and me.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
I feel like all math teachers did that.
Yeah.
That was like a teacher thing. That's
Yeah.
such a teacher
for
thing.
sure. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I remember he put it up on the board and all of us were like, wild. And now like I really try to avoid using that word
Yes.
just because of that.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like you've had to take a lot of risks though in like getting to know yourself. Were there any like moments where you felt like too scared to keep going or like that you took a big risk and it paid off?
I mean, kind of always scary,
Yeah.
especially like growing and scaling a business, getting employees, and you have other people's lives, under your control in a way. Um, but yeah, I've had a ton of stuff pay off too.
Mhm.
I think it's part of the game. Like, if you want to achieve what you really want in life, you gotta you gotta get uncomfortable. If you want to be complacent and be comfortable, like, and just understand you'll probably never reach where you want to reach. I'm obsessed with my full potential, so I'm more like excited.
Mhm.
And even if like times are harder or things maybe aren't going the way I'd like them to in that moment, I have like a very strong belief that I'll end up where I'm destined to go, and it's just a part of the journey. So it's like a lot of like trusting the process and just being okay with what's currently happening. That's why I like to read a lot of biographies on like
Okay.
really successful entrepreneurs
Mm-hmm.
and the journeys they've gone through. I think studying history has really helped me too, because it
Yeah.
allows me to like zoom out a little bit, because sometimes we get stuck like in the moment, like shit's hitting the fan today and this whole week
Yeah.
my life's over, right? Like if you look at the failures of like these super successful people, they've had multiple failures,
Mm-hmm.
and like lost a shit ton of money, or like maybe almost gone bankrupt. And that duration of that failure, that time, could have been a year,
Yeah.
right? But in retrospect, like if you zoom out, like you look at their whole life, that was such a small moment in time relative to the rest of their career and all the success they had. So I like to look at really successful people, read their autobiographies, and see their journey and realize, okay, like, you know what, this current time I'm in, maybe I'm like, my last 2 years were way better than this year as an example, but I'm just in it right now.
Mhm.
This is my
Yeah.
current dip in my
Yeah.
journey. It is what it is.
And if it's
know?
too easy, then it wasn't really like worth working for.
And you get
Like,
bored.
Yeah.
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 And I mean, the moment then you have a failure, it's like, oh my gosh, like it seems so much bigger than what it actually is if it's just like handed to you so easily. So
Yeah.
yeah. Who's some of like your favorite biographies that you've read?
So I mean, just hearing about like Steve Jobs, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, um, like a lot of these guys where,
Mhm.
uh, you just know them for who they are in the end,
Yeah.
right? But like Michael Jordan didn't make his high school team. I mean, he could have ended. He could have stopped right there,
Yeah.
right? So it's just like these cool like perspectives to like take in,
Yeah.
and kind of relate with.
And see how people's stories actually
Yeah,
ended up to be
like
like, oof.
I've almost done Patrick Bet David's second book right now, and same with him. Like at like 31 years old, he's like 50K in debt, being told he couldn't do anything, like a struggling like personal trainer, just
Mhm.
starting like his insurance business, or he was already in insurance and he wanted to start his own company, and everyone's like, "You're gonna fail," and he did start failing, So it's like he could have stopped right there.
Yeah.
Then he grew it to something that he was able to sell for multiple nine figures, right?
Yeah.
But like that portion of his life was a very long time when the amount of time he was failing,
Right.
but he was able to turn it around.
Okay. Yeah.
So
That's cool.
yeah,
Yeah. I like success stories like
yeah,
that where it's when like, yeah, when your life is like seeming so hard and people are like, no, like it can only go up from here. I
hmm
think that's where it's important to kind of take that time and be like, yes, like this isn't the end of the world. Like worse things could always happen. So
exactly.
Yeah. And no one wants to hear about someone who's just like had it easy, didn't really like achieve much or grow much. So
Yeah, I think like it's impossible like to not fail.
yeah.
It really
yeah.
is. You're going to. You're gonna fall right in your face hard
Yeah.
sometimes. It is what it is.
What was a moment in your career, like a milestone where you really thought like I've made it? And whether that's in, I mean, you kind of explained in like the podcast side, but just like your career now and like all your endeavors, like what's a moment that it's like, and of course there's, like we're saying, there's always still growth, but like just a shocking moment. You were like, yeah, like I'm doing good. Like I'm going to be
Yeah.
okay, kind of.
I think when I got asked to do like my first speaking gig,
Okay.
so that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember during the lockdowns, and I was at a restaurant downtown called Spaccio, and I was just actually having a business meeting, and then someone just came up to me in his mask, and he's like, "Are you Matt Campoli?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh my god, man!" He's like, "You're the reason I continued my real estate
Wow.
courses.
Oh,
I was
no
gonna quit."
way.
I was like, "Oh, okay. Like that's amazing. That's so cool." Like from what he's like, "I listened to your podcast. You inspire me. So thanks to you, I just got my real estate license." He's like, "I almost quit."
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
I was like, "Wow, man! Like that's amazing. Like that's insane." So like in that moment, I was like, "Okay, I'm actually impacting people now.
Yeah.
This podcast is I'm just doing it for fun, but like I'm actually like positively impacting people. This is
That's
amazing,
beautiful.
you know?"
Yeah.
Yeah. That's such a cool moment to be like, yeah, what you're doing is actually
Yeah.
paying off. And
So like now I get that all the time, and it's really cool because it's always like a positive story. Like I like hearing
Mhm.
what these episodes have done for people, and I'm just be myself and trying to bring as much value as possible.
Yeah.
And I got asked to speak in Ottawa this year at the Ontario Real Estate Conference, the reality conference, and I was just standing in the back, and then these guys from like I think they're from I don't know what province it was, but it was a similar
This is
thing.
in Canada.
And I went alone. I was by myself. So I was kind of walking in the crowd and like, I don't know, I just kind of took what that guy said. And in that moment, I almost kind of like it kind of jerked me a little bit, like kind of
Mhm.
holding back tears of happiness. Like,
Yeah.
holy shit, this is real life. Like I'm doing it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was, yeah, that was, yeah.
That's really cool.
hmm
Good for you.
I feel like that's like the beauty of social media too. You can reach like millions of strangers, and at times you like put it out there and you don't know how it's going to perform, or you might feel vulnerable. But yeah, to like reach people and be able to like use those platforms to your advantage.
Yeah.
Can you speak more to like why you love social media, why you hated it? Like what's your relationship with social media,
So
I
I treat it
guess?
like a business.
Yeah.
I actually don't consume it a lot. So I just do my
Good.
thing.
That's
Mhm.
I run my
Good.
business.
yeah.
And then, lately, okay, like there's certain trendy things. Okay, I can hop on a trend and like make a video with it. But I never really I don't really find myself there scrolling. It's more like how are my thing? Like if I'm on Instagram, it's like, how am I performing right now?
Okay.
Who's texting me? Like who's DMing me? Any leads coming in? How can this be better? I'll look at the greats and be okay. This is why this stuff is working. It's always like I'm analyzing on there and like trying to grow. But it's been amazing. Like it's been a life changing thing for me. Building the brand, I've kind of built it in a way where I've opened up doors outside of real estate.
Mm-hmm.
So I see the opportunity around my personal brand and what that's done for me outside of just being a realtor.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Like I self develop a lot. I spend a lot of money on coaches and all these things, and I just share what I'm learning, and some of the messages I get just by like sharing these things. People really need it,
Yeah.
Some people really need to hear things sometimes, and sometimes it just lands perfectly for someone in that moment of their life. It was like perfect timing, and I just posted a thing, but for them, it's like
it's everything.
Changed everything for them,
Wow.
So
Yeah.
it's been a really cool thing to be a part of because my intention behind it is to just help as much as I can, and I just share my journey because I'm still learning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really like a pro or like this freaking coach or like I'm just a guy on my journey, just sharing my journey,
Yeah.
and people resonate with it, and it's been really cool. Like a lot of the relationships I've been building and opportunities that have come out of it. So
Really cool.
yeah, it's been fun.
You say you don't really like use social media. So like what does your kind of downtime look like to actually like take care of yourself and everything so that you are prepared to take on so many projects?
A lot of educating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm in the gym in the morning. Like that's my thing. So the fitness part of it, I go for walks like midday, just to, like break up my day, and like I try not to do anything really. That opens up a lot of cool things because my brain I can actually like gain some insights during that time
Yeah.
and creativity.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to be like in my mind all the time. Like again, a lot of shit will be blowing up, and I just know how to like kind of separate myself from that in the moment.
Yeah.
But I'm obsessed with my full potential. So like my free time, I'm like, okay, what can I watch right now? What can I make notes on? What I want to master next? Like what skill I want to master? Let's start a book on that. Like I'm a freak. It's
Always
honestly,
going.
yeah, like I'm always going. So like on the other hand of things, like it's sometimes not healthy
Yeah.
Right.
because I have a hard time just sitting there and like I can't sit and watch TV because I won't be able to get through the show.
Right. Okay.
So I'll be like, okay, this is a good show and all, but like,
I could have been doing.
what's my next piece of content? Like, what's my next
Yeah.
idea I can make? Someone else is out there building their business. Why am I on the couch? It's just
Right.
like,
Yeah.
it's not the most healthy thing, but I mean, for this stage of my life right now,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's definitely necessary, and I'm okay with it. I've accepted that it's fine.
Right.
I always say like, Matt, you can chill later in life.
Right.
I don't think I ever could chill.
Yeah.
It's the what is it?
It's always-
Endless pursuit of success, they call it, where you get to a milestone and then it's like, oh, cool, I'm here. What's next?
Mm-hmm.
What's next? That's been my journey.
What if you could get to a point in your life where it is like I could chill? What is it that you would need to accomplish to kind of sit and be like, I did it? Or is there anything?
I mean, I don't think there's ever going to be a point where it's like, I have
I
X amount of
fully
money in the
succeed.
bank. Like I don't need to work again.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just chill. Like I always think I'm always going to want to give back somehow. So
Right.
it's like, cool. I just spent my whole life learning, educating, becoming my top self in terms of my
Mhm.
potential. Now how can I share this with people? Who can I get to join me? That's kind of how I would probably see it when I make it to that point in life.
Yeah.
I wouldn't just like stop and be like, okay, bye everybody. I'm gonna be in Bahamas on a
Yeah.
random island and you'll never see me again. I'm definitely gonna wanna I think that's what
Just
life's
keep
all
going.
about, right? Like again,
Yeah.
just studying the greats like Tony Robbins. He boils it down to like true happiness comes from being fulfilled. And
Mhm.
true fulfillment comes from humans helping humans,
Yeah.
right? At the end of the day.
Yeah.
So
No. Yeah. I think that like resonates a bit because like my dad, he's a therapist, but
Okay.
like for him, even now, like me and my brothers are like, it's time for you to retire. Like you're
Mhm.
done, and he still kind of has like a few lingering clients like throughout his week and stuff. And we're
Yeah.
like, no, like you can cut it all off. But then he'll be like signing up for courses to do something with like, I don't know, just other programs, or like he's always just on the go doing something. And we're like, it's okay to chill for a second. And
Yeah.
he's like, no, it's really not.
Yeah.
So I can kind of understand that.
He genuinely enjoys it.
Yeah, he just
Yeah.
enjoys always doing something or like learning something or being able to give back in some way. And even though we're all like, it's time and it's okay, he's
Yeah.
like, nope, it's not.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I can understand. Some people just can't stop the hustle.
Nope.
I think like real estate too is kind of known to be a bit competitive or like dog eat dog. Like how do you like stand out in your industry or like do things differently?
Yeah, like I definitely do things differently. Because I'm a different type of guy. Like I'm just
Built
different.
differently.
Yeah, like if, ask any of my friends. I've always been the guy like they're like, I don't know what the hell goes on inside your head or brain, but you're special, you know? So I just took that specialness.
Yeah.
Um
The
and-
little sparkle.
yeah, like in the beginning, like I made the standard, like I saw a gap. I'm like, when I first joined real estate, I'm like, these videos these agents are making, like they suck. Like what?
Yeah.
There's no like no shit. Thanks. It's a here's the bed, toilet, kitchen. Thanks, Sherlock. You know? How can you make that more entertaining? You know, it gets kind of stale. And like I never understood like why realtors take pictures like this. It's like body language 101. Like you're closed off. You don't want to be approached.
Mhm.
But we all do it without knowing why. Because it's like
It's just the
The thing.
stand.
Yeah.
it's like how can I change it up? You know, like so I remember doing my first ever real estate video and it was cringe because I just wasn't being me. I was just trying to be like the societal norm of realtors and how they do things.
Mhm.
And then I decided one day, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be the Matt who always dreams of acting, the little boy Matt who always wanted to be in movies and stuff. Let me live out that little dream through my real estate videos and like spin my weirdness through my content, but relate it to real estate. And then that's what I did. I made my first video where I was like, let me just do the most random shit ever, like a bunch of WTF moments,
Yeah.
that's my humor. That's what I do. I love like that hidden, like, the hell's going on back there, you know?
Yeah.
And that video did so well. People were like responding so well to it. And I was nervous as hell. I thought my whole career was going to end in that moment, but it was the complete opposite. And I just kept making the creativity juices just kept flowing. And then now, you guys, you know, as you see, like my videos are just weird.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they're authentic.
That's who I am. Just a weird guy.
Yeah.
Do your clients ever like ask you like to like give you ideas or anything for what they think would work for their house? Or
No.
okay.
Good.
I've luckily I've found really good videographers who have the same weirdness as me. So like
Perfect.
we have a blast.
Mhm.
It's the most fun ever. Like when I'm in and we're in a new like listing and I'm about to shoot it, me and the video guy are like, oh my god, we're gonna do this now. Like oh my god, I have a there's a dog. Let's use the dog. You know, it's like
Yeah.
super like spontaneous kind of shit, which is like what I like. Like yesterday I did a listing video with 2 rabbits and a dog.
Oh, okay.
I had 2 bunnies on the couch with me and a dog. But it's more like a kind of like another WTF one. Like, oh, there's freaking rabbits on the couch with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I mean, it works. You're selling
Yes.
houses.
Yeah.
but yesterday actually, my clients did my first ever time that my clients got involved, and they were having so much fun with me.
Yeah.
And because they had the same creativity. Like she's like one of my clients. She's an author.
Okay.
She has
So,
books.
Yeah.
So she definitely has the creative juices and stuff. So it was her and her husband kind of like, what if you did this, Matt, or like this? And then we all just started building off on ideas, and we literally created my listing video together. And we had a blast.
Oh, that's
And they
so
messaged me this morning
fun.
like, we had so much fun yesterday. I'm like, well,
Aw.
It's
no
such
one
a
really
cool
gets involved.
relationship that
Yeah.
you're building with them too. I'm
Yeah.
sure they'll have friends who want to be actresses and actors and be like, listen, sell your house. Matt will help.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So that's kind of how I just stuck out by just being me. As
I love
cliche as
that.
that sounds in today's world, but it's that simple too.
Yeah, like listing and selling is such a scary thing
Yeah.
to people too. So you're probably like a breath of fresh air.
I just have fun. I just have fun with
Yeah.
it. People like, they catch on. They want to have fun too.
Yeah.
That's it.
Sorry, what's your favorite like real estate listing show that you sit down to watch, or
I
do you have
don't.
one?
No, I have a problem.
Oh, Okay. I mean, you did say you can't sit through TV,
It's not even
but
that. It's like, and this is like, because I'm not on the show,
oh,
I don't care to watch it.
Yeah.
okay.
As bad as that sounds. Because I want to be on a show
it's
so
fair.
bad, where it's like, I don't deserve to watch this
Yeah,
Oh.
until I make it, and then I'm
right.
on it.
One day.
Right. Also, real estate shows are pretty scripted, and like, it's not really how it is.
Yeah.
But I used to watch like Selling Sunset. I
love
ripped
Selling
Selling Sunset for a
Sunset.
bit.
Yeah.
I actually love Selling
I'm
Sunset.
watching Selling the OC right now, and
It's good.
I'm enjoying it. Yeah,
You know, it's
I
not a
ran
drama.
out
I
of
mean,
all the
you
other
know what? There's
reality
really
TV.
cool characters in like Lux Listings Toronto just came out.
Mhm.
That was actually
Yeah.
good. I'm
You
good
did
friends with
watch
Brett.
that
Yeah, a little bit. I
Okay.
didn't finish, but
because it
just
should have
to
been
support. Not even, you know,
joke.
they crushed it.
Yeah.
Everyone on that show crushed it. Be cool to be on it, but
Mhm.
Right.
what's destined to be is destined to be.
Yes.
You know.
We're manifesting it for
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it
And
out
you know what?
there.
Me and Dala might start a real estate show.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, you'll be like DJing in your houses.
I love
then,
house
like-
music, so
Yeah.
we're good.
Yeah, perfect. You two can collab and then both come back on the
Done.
podcast.
Done.
Bring them on with you.
I will.
I think that those are all our questions.
Yeah. No, that was great. Thank you so much for answering and telling us a bit about yourself.
of
And
course.
I mean, like, I think I worked with you at the previous company that I worked with. You did like a collaboration thing.
For a ride?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was hilarious. And so I'm glad that we could get you on here. And yeah.
Yeah, we always wanted to have like interviewing a podcaster on our podcast and have
Yes.
a little like inception moment. So
Yes.
we're so happy that you're like the first
Well, I'm
interviewee.
happy to be it.
Yay.
Do you have any tips, tricks, anything for us or podcasters who are starting out or entrepreneurs who are starting out?
Just the podcasting is consistency, and like don't be scared to reach out to some big names. You'd be
Don't.
surprised. Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. But it's it's just a lot of consistency, good quality stuff, good guests, good conversations. Niche down.
Mm-hmm.
Try and keep it like so people know what to expect every time and they come back for more. But what's your guys' goal with it?
So our goal is, well, the podcast is one part of it. I think both of us have always wanted to be our own bosses and have a brand of our own. And years ago, we had kind of sat down and we're just talking about things we wanted to work on individually. And I think as time went on and like Robin was like having a baby and everything, and we were kind of like, you know what, like we could do this together. And like Robin was in marketing and I was in like digital marketing. So our two worlds could kind of collide. So I think for us, our goal was to have this where we could kind of learn and give like that raw, unedited side of starting a podcast and a business from the beginning, because we also found it, like you were saying about biographies and stuff, like seeing somebody's story actually play out rather than just like hearing about it once they're successful. We wanted to kind of show all the steps to getting there. And so for us, yeah, the podcast is one piece of it, but we actually want to build like a brand and a lifestyle brand with like clothes. We want like bathing suits,
Nice.
luxury robes, like
Cool.
different
Yeah.
things. So, and eventually like do events and just kind of build that community that you're talking about with your stuff,
Yeah.
where it's, we're doing something for other people, but at the same time, we're our own bosses and just kind of having fun with it too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think it's kind of like an umbrella. Like we can work and play and do so many things. Like
Yeah.
I'm a very creative person. I'm always like thinking of like I put on a t-shirt in the morning and I'm like, how could this be better? Like
Yeah.
what would this experience be like if I like did it from scratch?
Yeah.
So like with our brand and with our podcast, we just kind of want to like take everyone along the ride of like how do we like make the world a better place, as like corny as that is, but
No,
having
no,
this
we
like
love the journey.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
safe space with your best friend to like
Yeah.
do events, make cool things, and like talk it through
Mm.
and like build a crew of listeners that
For sure.
And
get
like,
inspired.
yeah. And when I grew up, my dad, he like built a museum when we were younger. And it was in Omimi, and like everything was all just like, it was like his kind of creative outlet to have this. It wasn't about making the money. We had rock and roll memorabilia.
Cool.
So he had just like dreamed of having this thing. And like also when we were younger, he bought like an old bus, and like we had like this, all of our friends and family come up and we painted it, and everybody just like was creative on like this white bus. And then inside he like flipped it. So it was kind of like a cabin thing that we could stay in. So like our family would go up and like sleep in this bus on like our property. And I think I was always just kind of inspired to be like, that it's so cool to have a creative outlet regardless of like what the outcome is. Like both those projects were like very cool for our family. The museum was very successful, and he's kind of continued it on. But my brother has that mentality of just kind of doing these things. And I think watching and looking at them, I was very much like, I want that. Like, I just want to have those creative outlets. And if they work, they work. And if not, well, like, you can only learn something from it. So,
Exactly.
yeah, that's where we're at with
Let's
this.
take her to church.
Yeah.
Well, I wish you guys I'm excited to witness the journey and be a part of it too.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you being our first guest. And
My pleasure.
Yeah, it was great. So thank you. And that's it for today. So happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, guys.
Okay, bye.